Hello, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services sales executives, for our video message of the week. All right, this week's message is entitled, What Should Sales Executives Focus In On Most When Dealing in a Low Inventory Marketplace? You know, when traveling around and talking to brokers and agents, as well as our own sales executives, I hear a lot of talk about low inventories. What I don't hear enough about is what are the solutions? What should we actually be doing when we're in a low inventory marketplace? And that's what today's message is all about. So let's jump right in. First, tip number one, when you're in a low inventory marketplace, I want you to key in on lead follow-up. We love to focus on lead gen, and it's very important. But lead follow-up is always important, but in a low inventory marketplace, those key opportunities, all right, if we miss because we're not following up, that's a tragedy, okay? So tip number one, focus on lead follow-up. Make sure, regardless of where your leads are coming from, you're not just letting them go out the door, you're following up. Tip number two, look, in a low inventory environment, we're gonna deal with challenges that we normally don't deal with. We're going to deal with challenges from clients, be it buyers and sellers, as well as dealing with the other agents. So what do we need to do? We need to communicate effectively with that entire group. All right, look it. Sometimes you'll deal with buyers in this type of environment and they really don't know what they don't know. All right, so they need to be basically counseled through this process. And sometimes, you know what they're really looking for and what they can purchase in a market like we are now can be two different things. Same thing with the seller. The seller might have expectations, all right, of X, but because we're in a low inventory marketplace, there can be challenges, okay, in dealing with different aspects. Certainly not challenges that you can't deal with, but they get a lot tougher if you haven't communicated them effectively. And last but certainly not least in communication is the other agent. Look, if you're dotting your I's and you're crossing your T's, that's awesome. That's what you're supposed to do. But they may not be true for all sales executives out there. So they might go down a road, even unintentionally, but they haven't dotted their I's and they haven't crossed their T's. And let's say you accept an offer. But guess what? It's an offer that's never going to go. Not in this environment. So you've got to ask those questions. You've got to make sure you've counseled the other agent and been very detailed and thorough as you go down that process. Or what are you doing? Something goes in escrow, and by the way, it's never had a chance to close day one. And certainly, last but not least, when we're in a low inventory marketplace, proactive activities squash passive activities. All right? Passive activities go down and down and down in value in a low inventory marketplace. Let me give you an example. Open houses. In a low inventory marketplace, you should be doing tons and tons of open houses. Okay, one, if they're your listings, phenomenal. I'm not even worried about if you're the only one doing those open houses. Let's say you have other people doing them for you. That's great. But either way, even if you don't have an inventory, you should be doing them for other people. Look, what an open house really is an opportunity to get face-to-face with more people in that area. And that is an opportunity to shake some trees and create opportunities that may not exist because a house is not on the market today. Look, in a low inventory marketplace, you can send out letters to areas, you can knock doors on specific product types that you know, as listings go, it's very low. We're in a low inventory marketplace, so we're missing some of those products. Look, proactive activities are so key in a low inventory marketplace, and there's tons of those proactive actions that you can take, but they are paramount in this type of environment. Today's message is dealing with solutions as it comes to low inventory. Go to it and stay proactive. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.